And hey, everybody, welcome to My Queer View, a YouTube channel that a gay man, a queer man, runs, where I give you my view as a queer man on a range and a variety of different things. I thought today we would look at some of the latest ads from the Lincoln Project, a Republican run group against Donald Trump's fascist desire to overtake our country and become a dictator. So this is Fox is Not Your Friend, the Lincoln Project, posted 3 days ago on their YouTube channel.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. The whole point of their immigration policy is to ensure political control, replace the population, get a different outcome.
Now to Fox News anchor Tucker Carlson under fire, losing more advertisers this morning after claiming immigrants make America poorer and dirtier.
We begin tonight with the sudden departure of Tucker Carlson from Fox News.
Tucker Carlson Tonight is officially over and rebranded.
Right now, it's time for Fox News Tonight, so let's get started.
Google apparently doesn't think whites exist.
Every time something big happens with weather, it's climate change.
They want to take away your stove, your refrigerator, your air conditioner, and they want to even take away your meat.
Affluent white female liberals. Awfuls.
Taco bowls. Donald Trump sells taco bowls. Does Joe Biden sell taco bowls?
Here's how it all went down. Take a look.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on. Oh, stop it.
I think any other response kind of would have been a little gutless.
This is liberal suburban house husbands. So is the government controlling the weather with laser beams?
I hope that she's the Yoko Ono of the Kansas City Chiefs.
You know I recommend that all men refrain from using straws.
There's no indication of the nefarious intent. But of course, you've been talking a lot about the potential for foul play given the wide open border.
I mean, you have a border that's wide open. No one asks a man
The border
to close
is
it.
not wide open. That is
Black
an
Americans
absolute
online, some of
fabrication.
them are saying, I'm voting for Trump now, because they too have sometimes felt they've been unfairly targeted by the criminal justice system.
Transvestite Recognition Day, so-called.
Is Donald Trump at risk of being America's first real political prisoner?
Primetime obviously has no evidence.
He is not.
But we're curious.
President Biden was asked if Trump supported an insurrection.
The mugshot has breathed new life into the Trump campaign and broadened his appeal to black Americans. This is historical fact that slaves did develop skills while they were enslaved and then used those skills as blacksmiths, as in agriculture. Has Joe Biden ever dated a black woman?
There is nobody who can move merch like Donald Trump.
He can be president from jail if he has to.
I hurt members of my family every night.
I call it complete lunacy.
Just watch us. We'll tell you both sides.
Take a look.
You will not, and you do not tell us both sides.
I guess we don't have it.
Before we go, a little update on a story we brought you this week about homeless vets being displaced from hotels so that illegals could move in. Turns out the group behind the claim made it up.
Shocking. Made up. Just like almost everything else that is pushed out of Fox News is an absolute lie and fabrication. Right? We all know this. Let's look at entitled Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, our town. The Bucks, the Brewers, Harley Davidson. Brats, cheese curds, best beer in the world. We work hard, we play hard. We're damn proud of Milwaukee. It's home, and we love it. If Donald Trump says Milwaukee is a terrible city, imagine how little he thinks of the rest of Wisconsin.
Very true. So, I've watched a few clips about this now, and a lot of the Republicans are, or should I say the MAGA faithfuls, are trying to spin his comments in such a way that he was talking about voter fraud or irregularities, supposedly, and or crime, violent crime, murders, what have you. Statistical data shows us that murders and violent crime are at a historic 50-year low under the Joe Biden administration, including within Milwaukee, as well as violent crime being down. Also, the own Republican administration in Wisconsin has said that there were no voter fraud or irregularities within the 2020 election. So it's just factually inaccurate. It reminds me of his comments about African countries being quote unquote shitholes from a few years ago when he was in office. He is a vile individual. He is a liar and a grifter and a bully and a wannabe strongman dictator. He is a vile individual who is only interested in being president to keep himself out of prison and to stroke his ego and his narcissism and to empower and enrich his self. And we must not become complacent as Americans, regardless of your political ideology. Quit, boys. Whether you fall on the right, the center right, in the middle as an independent, or the center left, or a progressive. We all must stand together and say no and protect democracy and not allow Donald Trump to overtake our country. Okay, the next one we will watch is What Will You Tell Your Kids, posted 5 days ago on the Lincoln Project.
What will you tell your kids? That you voted for a felon and a criminal, supported a man found guilty by a citizen jury, went into the voting booth happy to pull the lever for the only former president in history to bear the mark of criminal shame. Will you tell them that breaking the law is how they should live their lives? That lying to their families about porn stars and hush money is how they should behave? Do you want your son to treat women like a man who was found to have committed sexual assault? Do you want your daughter to be a victim of a man like him?
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it?
Absolutely.
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the...
Will you tell them that he was honest, that he was a good man,
Very fine people on both sides.
that he treated people the way you...
Okay, so they bleeped it out, and I don't feel comfortable with that bleep. So I'm going to say it. He said, grab them by the pussy. And when you're rich and you're famous, they'll let you do it. There is no need for censorship. If he wants to be the president of the United States for a second term as a criminal, then we need to make sure that we are showing the American people his words within full context, unedited, uncensored. So yeah, it may be offensive to some. It's offensive to me. But those are the words that he said. Let's go back to it.
Taught them.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Will you tell them you're proud of his cruelty? Happy with the ugly insults.
I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers.
The attacks on women and the endless lies that the chaos, death, and danger he brought was worth it. We know it's hard to walk away and put country over party, but your kids are watching. You're not just voting for your future, you're voting for theirs.
Yes, the youth of America is absolutely watching. All right, so we're going to watch the Lincoln Project from 2 weeks ago on their YouTube channel. Their new ad, Verdict.
Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree.
You're a criminal, Donald. That's what the jury said. Not the deep state. Not the Democrats. Not the Biden administration. A jury. Regular people who saw the evidence and felt sick. You're a criminal. And you did it to yourself.
Nobody's ever seen anything like this. It's a shame.
Your defense was weak because you're weak. They had no argument because there is no argument.
Right.
You were too scared to testify because you knew Donald. You know. You're guilty. Guilty as sin. guilty as charged.
So I would also say that the reason that he actually did not testify was because him and his lawyers knew that he could not get on the stand and tell the truth, and that he would face additional charges of perjury. And that's just simple. You know, we have over, I think, 30,000, 40,000 documented lies and during his administration. Going on from 2015 when he came down the gold escalator to today, June 16th, 2024, every time the man gets in front of a microphone or in front of a group of individuals, he spews lies and nonsense and conspiracy theories and false truths, and it's absolutely utterly ridiculous. I will say that all politicians use some aspect of spin, but the majority of politicians within my lifetime have not lied in such a way as Donald Trump has. So I think it's absolutely vital that we call it out and we don't pull this propaganda technique of both sides, because it's not the reality. Both sides are not the same. Both sides do not engage in the same kind of vile lies and manipulation and grift. Only one party is actively seeking to take away women's rights and the LGBTQ rights, and to demonize middle class and poor Americans in such a way that is detrimental to our country as a whole and democracy of this republic. And we can't be, as I said a minute ago, we can't be complacent within this. We must get out and vote, each and every one of us. Unfortunately, the way that our political system is set up, a third-party candidate cannot win. Elections are a binary choice, 0 or 1. If you can look at a man like Joe Biden, a decent, honest, hardworking public servant for almost the majority of his adult life, and then look at a man like Donald Trump and say that they're the same, they're equal, you're in a cult, man. You need deprogrammed, and that's just all there is to it. Seek professional help. This is the Lincoln Project Bystander 3 weeks ago.
America's presidents have always brought something unique to the White House. From revolutionaries to businessmen to statesmen, their common thread has been clear: a commitment to the founding principles that make America great. Until recently, there was something else every president since World War II had in common. They all saw Adolf Hitler for the genocidal monster he was. All of them except one, Donald Trump.
Exactly.
After 80 years of presidents who despise Nazism, Donald Trump became the first one to praise it.
They're poisoning the blood of our country.
It's sick.
Vile.
It's wrong.
It is.
And the Republican Party is defending it. And if you're a Republican voter, it's time to ask yourself, is this who you are? Because if you're still defending Donald Trump, the answer is yes.
Right. If you are supporting and or defending Donald Trump, then you are supporting a man who is actively engaged in the support of domestic terrorism and Nazism, fascism, an active attempt to destroy democracy within the Republic of the United States of America. It's sad. It's shameful. It's vile and disgusting. We've got a standing ovation. This was 3 days ago when Donald Trump was on Capitol Hill.
After this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them.
You were just 58 steps away
in front of
from where the mob was amassing.
Donald Trump surrendered his role as commander-in-chief and became the inciter-in-chief.
Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
For the first time in more than 200 years, the seat of our government was ransacked on our watch.
It's important to look and remember where you were on January 6th, 2020, and watching the insurrection take place in real time. And you have to go back and remember the visceral reaction and the feelings that you felt that day, regardless of your political ideation, and realize that if Donald Trump gets back in office, we will no longer have a democratic republic with free and fair elections. We will have a theocracy, a tyrannical dictator in power who will not give it up ever again. And that is absolutely, utterly terrifying to me. Again, we can't be complacent. We have to get out, and we have to vote, and we have to take our friends and our family with us, and we have to make sure that everyone understands that a vote for Donald Trump is a vote to end the democratic norms of this country and to end democracy within the United States. Let's maybe watch one more, and then I think I might end this video. Make sure that you guys do like and subscribe, ring the bell below. My TikTok, which is right there, QR code's up there. But you can find links in the descriptions for all of my social media. Hold on.
Republicans continually have their head up their ass and can't figure out how to actually use the power that the people gave us.
Ready, fight!
My friends in the Freedom Caucus, Matt Gaetz and others, they're proving to the country that they don't care about doing the right thing for America.
People are sick and tired of a feckless, useless Republican Party that never does a damn thing to stop any of this. I can tell you right now, people are going to stop supporting Republicans if Republicans don't get their act together and actually do something about this.
The feud was between Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. It was caught on camera. You can see them chatting there, and it led to a lot of questions. There was reporting that the word, and pardon my language here, or the phrase, little bitch, was thrown around.
Well, one day we are going to row ourselves right off of that cliff.
Their whole party is chaos and infighting, and it's an absolute grift. They're only concerned about themselves and how much they can personally benefit and how they can enrich themselves, and it needs to stop. Please, again, I will say, get out and vote. Register others to vote. Take others to the polls. Make sure that you understand what is at stake. Right now, we're looking that if within the next 4 years or so, there's going to be 1, possibly 2 or 3 Supreme Court seats open. And if a Republican president is able to appoint them, then we're looking at the rest of my lifetime under a biased, extreme far-right Supreme Court who will absolutely overturn, like, Lawrence v. Texas, or Oberfell, Griswold. We're talking contraception, gay rights, people's rights, women's rights, women's autonomy to be able to make their own choice with their doctor of how they proceed with their bodies. It is, we are in the fight for the soul of our nation. Please, please get out and vote. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on all of my social medias.